I think the top three influences on children and teenagers are family, friends, and the social media. So I have put the family first as the first influence on the teenagers. Here's why. Here's why. And from the birth, family is the children's the first agent of primary socialization, as well as the major social group. So they learn from what they see and hear at home, even before they speak. Before they speak. Um, so as they live and interact with their members, the family members every day, so they learn the social values initially from their family. So also their habits and thinking processes are cultivated from the family as they are either taught directly or they learn, through the observation and the imitation of other family members. So I think that's why I think the family is the first influence on the teenagers.
For me, I believe the biggest top three influence on children and youth is God first, family second, and third is friends. Expressing this as a place, it is a church, home, and school. The reason I put my family second is to express that there is hope in God, even for friends who have lost their parents or who live in single parents family. Family, I agree. Family has absolute influence on children and youth. Friends also has a great influence. Therefore, those whose youth ministry need to think about how to church, home, and school can be connected. And we have to try to spread an energy we get from the church to school and home.
The three major influence on children and teenagers, I pick up family, peer or friends, and social media. And the top influence of these three, I think, of course, is family, because I think the first culture one person gets so immersed is family. So through the fellowship, through the relationship with parents, we get to learn what to believe, how to behave, or so it really forms our assumptions and our values and our perspectives on the world and humanity and everything. So I think family can be the first and the most powerful inspiration on children and teenager. And I think it's actually family and especially parents exercise, I think, more inspiration and more power over us than we know and we are actually willing to admit. So I think the family, parents is really, the top influence. And also these days, of course, teenagers really, through the fellowship with their peers and friends, their perspectives on the world and on people get to expand, and also I think get to vary. So it's also very important. And nowadays, many children and most I think every child, teenager has connection with other world through social media. So social media has a lot of inspiration influence these days.
I think the three biggest influences on children and teenagers are family, peers, and the media. But I think family and peers have the same rank. In Korea, before the pandemic, children had significantly less time to spend with their families at home. Most of the parents were dual income and worked overtime almost every day. Likewise, the children and teenagers came home late at night due to schoolwork and slept and woke up early the next morning to go to school. As a result, they spend most of their time with their friends, and they had the greatest influence. But the pandemic has forced parents to work from home, and their children also to take online classes at home. This has significantly increased the amount of time children and teenagers spend at home with their families. This would have been quite a chord for the whole family. I think people's understanding of space will change a lot after the pandemic, which means more time to spend with family in the future. Therefore, the influence of families on children and teenagers is likely to expand.
Yeah, I put family, friends, and media as the top three cultural influences. Family being because the parents are affecting their child's behavior even at such a young age, and kind of throughout their whole life under the parents' roof, whether that is a positive effect or a negative effect. And I think that with the kind of trend of like helicopter parents, that affects the teenagers like rebellion phase, where they try to find their own freedom. And then I think that friends and media kind of go hand in hand because everything's just so cultural. With media, I was thinking specifically of like music and videos because teenagers have access to just kind of every song and just millions of hours of videos, just kind of wherever, just seeing what's trending and all this stuff. And they want to, like, if you look at like the top charts of music, you'll see kind of what's popular, like the topics of like sex, and they're all like, all the top songs now are explicit, and so that kind of affects the way that our teenagers talk. And as teenagers hang out with their friends, that also affects the way that they talk and the way that they act, and they share common goals. So yeah, I think that those three are definitely the top three cultural influences.